evening, this is My Own View and I am your host Mark Lee. Tonight I would like to point out that this is my first episode, it is my pilot episode and it is full, well I'm not going to say it's full of stuff, but it is full of material that people will find offensive. And because I've grown up with a bit of a backbone, I say things how they are. A lot of people have found that out. They don't like it, so they don't like me, and that's fine. That's your point of view. Now this is mine. Prime Minister David Cameron is planning to pledge over £100 million to the flood victims in Somerset. No one knows how it will be spent because he still hasn't got off his fat arse to go down to Asda for the people yet. Instead, he'd rather give them a rubber dinghy and make them do it themselves. My own view on this is he should really invest the money in maybe some camping gear or scuba gear, maybe even hire out Bear Grylls to pop over and teach them how to hunt. Or better still, hire Jeremy Wade from River Monsters and get him to teach them how to fish for their dinners, because I mean there's plenty of water around, they've got no excuse. But then there again, Jeremy Wade will probably end up saying, oh look, there's a sheepfish. I've got to catch that for medical science. Oh no, I better not. I better put the fucker back. It might die. I have morals. I am terribly sorry that you've lost your home. But people should be prepared. I mean, if you're living by a river, shouldn't you have flood defences ready? Just as you can't rely on the Prime Minister. Everybody knows you can't rely on the Prime Minister. He's a dick. The up and coming storm the winter storm, also leads me on to my next thing. He's led me on to a great idea, that this money, not only while these new flood defences should be built using this money, he should also send these victims on holiday before any flooding happens. He should send them to Morocco, somewhere where there's loads of sun and barely any water. Therefore, when they come back, they've got the whole disappointment of looking forward to rain, but having the added bonus of a swimming pool when they come home. David Cameron, I'm talking directly to you. That was my idea, and I think I deserve a bit of compensation, if you know what I mean. Or it may lead to more rioting, pal. Ministers are also being slammed for wanting kids to stay there. Ministers are being slammed for wanting to keep kids in school for up to 10 hours a day. People are saying that it's unfair on kids, as they won't get to see their parents. Their future routine will be breakfast, school, tea, homework, bed. Breakfast, homework, breakfast, school, tea, homework, bed. In my view, this has its advantages. Parents shouldn't be concerned, because if you've got a troubled child, this could be the best time of your life to send them to school. Because now all the government needs to do is raise the fences and put electrified wires on the top. Maybe even give staff a key card that as soon as that gate slams shut, the kids can't leave the school. It's also my view that instead of having the days at 10 hours a day, spread it out through the week and have the kids go 7 days a week. And then have Saturday and Sunday finish at about 12:30. Therefore, the adults get to see their kids in the afternoons. But then there again, if you think about it, some kids might not even want to see their parents. In some levels, that might work out perfectly fine for most parents or kids. I don't see what the big deal is. Although I would like to see ministers stay in Parliament for over 10 hours. I'd like to see that on Big Brother. Like, you know, have a proper camera fitted in there 24 hours a day. I'd like to see the cleaners cleaning the leather on the chairs where the ministers sit. I'm just wondering if anyone's actually got the bottle to stick drawing pins up their asses, because they might actually get up and do something for this country. Anyway, on to our next section. Good evening and welcome back to the show. Right now is my turn to focus on my awards. They're not really awards, you don't win anything, it's just that you get a mention on My Own View. My first award is for comment of the week. Person that made comment of the week is this guy. Well done again to Adam Greaves for winning comment of the week. Now I'd like to move on to a least popular one. This is the one you don't really want. And this is for Dick of the week. And this week, there's only one Dick that stands out right now. And that's this. Commiserations there to Graham Ledbetter for winning my Dig of the week. Now I'd like to move on to the one that everybody wants. Not as much, well, maybe just as much as comment of the week. This is my Peep of the week.
Boiled. Bort.
Congratulations to all of those that won Dig of the week, comment of the week, and my Peep of the week. We move on to the past couple of days in sport, starting with the Winter Olympics. With the Sochi Games now underway, we saw the USA win the first gold medal of the Games today. And yet again, Britain tried, and we failed. In my view, we should get the USA, China and Russia, all those countries that get really good snow, and let them decide who gets the medals by playing rock, paper, scissors. It's so simple, and it's an event that we actually might win in. Because by using the rock shape, if we actually lose, and we actually have the rock shape, by using that, we can land a good fist on the beak of a Yank, a Soviet, or maybe even a slanty-eyed Oriental fiend. At least then it might make us feel better for not winning a gold. In figure skating, I actually found myself watching the women's, obviously, and I found myself saying to Connie, I can do that, triple back, spin, heel, back flip. However, I can only do that in the shower. If I slip on conditioner left by Tash or Connie in the bottom of the bath, I call it a breakneck flip. Tash calls it a daft fucking idiot splash. In football today, saw Liverpool totally thrash Arsenal 5-1. Are you kidding, Arsene? Arsene Wenger, I'm talking to you. Your best bet is to sack all your players and use your ball boys, because that's the only way you're going to get to the Champions League next season. Somehow, I think I'm forgetting something. Oh yes, that's right. Sheffield United have reached the 5th round of the FA Cup. I'm not going to say the word crushing, but we edged out Fulham. Thanks to someone that had returned from injury to score in injury time. How coincidental. So far, Sheffield United have taken 2 Premiership scalps. Aston Villa and Fulham. Fulham's manager was all smooth and suave, trying to get his Fulham players to get in the game, and he couldn't. I'd like to see him in the chairman's office trying to smoothen out being fired. I bet in his past career he was a former janitor for Fulham. The chairman came running down the stairs and said, "Oh, quick, we need to find someone to fill the management position, quick! You'll do! Look at that scruff! He'll do! All we need to do is put him in a suit, teach him some posh English, and how to avoid the offside trap. No chance." You're sacked, pal. Now we move on to something a bit closer to Alan Mason's heart. And I'm talking directly to you, you dick. Six Nations is underway. And while him and his partner Aisha Mason was up here with the 3 kids, I felt bad for him because his missus was giving him a hard time because he wanted to watch the rugby. He's a big rugby fan, so I put it on the telly for him. And, I beg your pardon, now, today, I actually found myself flicking between the Winter Olympics and the Six Nations to find out what the scores were. It's not fair. I hate rugby. I always have done, ever since I received a rat tail in high school. I fucking hate it. Congratulations to Alan Mason there, winning Peep of the Week. Make sure that you hold that in the most sincere part of your heart. It's come from me. You deserved it. Now we go on to the ending of our show, but before we go on to the ending, I would just like to talk about what will be coming in my next week's show. I did have one written out, but I had to cut and tweak it, and it's still not quite finished yet. I still need to do a bit more research into it, but it will be next week's show. I call it Happy Corner, and basically I go on and talk about a different charity each week, or a certain person that has dedicated a lot of time and effort to a certain charity and raised a lot of money for a charity. Or maybe I just dedicate this section to someone that is dealing with, I don't know, maybe a cancer, for instance, and just point out how brave they are and how spectacular they are and how well they're coping with what they've been delivered, shall we say. That's basically Happy Corner, and that will be starting next week. So, that being said, I hope you've enjoyed the show, and I hope you join me next week for my own view. Good night all.